Takes this stuff a while to ferment. Oh, shit. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 4. Kal Kat, the Calicaster. The episode called Whole World is Watching. Whole World is Watching. Yeah, I finally got around to it. It came out 2 days ago. 3 days ago. It's now Sunday night. It's kind of a, yeah, it was more of a spy thriller type of thing. Then that's kind of the way it's going. There was some talking again, slow talking, stuff, but for the most part, this one was more action oriented. So it was essentially Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier in the last episode meets up with the Wakandan ladies of the Wakandan warrior ladies, T'Challa's sister, and she wants to catch Baron Zemo and arrest him, take him back to prison. Then there is the terrorist lady. The names are funky. The terrorist lady is going to the memorial service for her, or I guess, person that raised her, I guess, mentor, who was dying, and died. And Zemo, Baron Zemo, he went and convinced a local girl to tell him when the funeral's going to be, and told them, and also told them that the other guys were bad guys, that Winter Soldier and Falcon were bad guys, so that the other people in the town would know, and then they would react to save him instead of them. So that was his plan. A little convoluted because they don't know him either, but sure, superhero movie with spy stuff in it. Why not? The agent, U.S. agent, who is also playing Captain America, is clearly going insane, and he shows up with his partner, and they try to talk to the girl, the terrorist girl, the one with the freckly terrorist girl, and she's got the vials of serum that she hid in a gravestone that she got out, and she happens to be walking around with them. Another bad idea. If you have top secret serum vials, you don't put them on you and take them out of the grave and carry them around. That would make absolutely no sense. You put them in a safe somewhere, and you don't play with them. Put them on your person and walk around with them. The false captain then gets a hold of one of them, even though Baron smashed them. So there was one left over, and he found it smashed. They should know that from looking at the other vials. That he smashed some of them, but there's a seventh one missing. The Captain America guy then Falcon and Winter Soldier discussed the serum and that they don't want to take it. Because the Winter Soldier already has it, and Falcon doesn't want to take it. But the Captain and the Captain replacement and his one do. But they don't reveal that that he did or didn't or something. They also call them little nationalist extremists or something. Yeah, they what was the terminology they used for them? Like fascist, basically. It wasn't nationalist. It was something odd. Even though they're white in the story, so they're not white nationalists. They would be just like crazy ones or whatever, terrorist bad guys, domestic terrorist bad guys. Of course, the sister's number having appeared on the enemy radar. One of the enemy girl freaks out the sister by calling the number. I don't know how she got the number necessarily. I guess they explained she was a genius hacker earlier and she memorized it somehow. I didn't think that the serum worked that way. If she was part of the super soldiers, the number was known to the power broker lady, but the power broker's assistant lady was not in the same room or in the same town even with the terrorist lady with the freckles. She wouldn't have known the number, in other words. She would have had no clue as to who the number is. And just from a name that's mentioned, he mentioned Sarah at one point, which was dumb. He's supposed to be a spy and like a superhero. Mentioning the name was dumb. However, there's no way she could have even remotely figured out what the number was. And she didn't have a tracker thing on his wallet or something. They scan the cell phone, which you can't really do. They're encrypted. She didn't have his cell phone at any point. So how did she get the number? That's a plot hole. She couldn't have had the number. She couldn't have learned it from the other lady. She couldn't have learned it from the Baron, because none of those people would have told her. Yeah. So that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's a plot hole. Then we have, clearly we have the false Captain America secret agent guy going crazy. I understand that he becomes, in the comic book, he's supposed to be West Coast Avengers sort of pseudo bad guy anti-hero. The West Coast Avengers in the comic books in the 80s. But he's actually evil. Yeah, he's turning evil. And it's not the serum, he's just evil. He decapitates the bad guy. And they film it. Well, everybody's got a cell phone out and they film it. So clearly the false Captain America is a crazy, insane guy. Decapitates him with the shield. It's way darker than it's something Wolverine would have done back then. In the comics. Wolverine totally would have done that. Yeah. And some of the movies, they implied that he did that a couple times, yeah. They didn't show it. They just sort of showed the guy lying there and blood on the end of the shield. And he bashed his head in. Yeah. Or off. Just bashed it off. Like, tink. Because the bad guy killed his partner. Snapped his neck. He was trying to escape and he got away. And they found it. There was a funny scene when there was where the two, and I suppose all of the anti-SJW people were, oh no, the two ladies couldn't beat up Captain America. Yeah, but he's fake Captain America. He doesn't have the serum, and they're powerful warriors. They can beat him because he sucks. Basically, he doesn't. Yeah, he's like crappy Crapton America. He's not the original. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the summary of the story. I don't need to go into too much detail about it. I mean, this is what it is. You know. Yeah, it's a little bit better than the other ones, but yeah, the other episodes. WandaVision kind of had the same problem as first couple episodes too. It's like it didn't pick up until episode 3 or 4, like this one didn't. But it's still awkward. It's still odd. It's the same issues that the other ones have. It seems a bit forced. Is the main thing. It seems a bit forced. You can kind of tell the situations they're in. I know it's a comic book, so I forgive them for being over the top, and people have knives or bullets or guns or whatever, and they can deflect them. That's fine. It's a comic book. But then to have actual realistic, like, a guy gets smashed, his head smashed off with a shield. That's more realistic. So you're suddenly going for realism, and you have complete fantasy of guys flying through plate glass windows without a scratch, and somebody gets killed. Well, I don't think the comic book included these characters. I think they're kind of similar to some of the villains from West Coast Avengers, but not exactly. They're not exactly them. I think they made them up for this show. Somebody out there might be more of an expert, but I think they made them up for the show and said, okay. Does beg the question, with all this crazy stuff going on, like in WandaVision, same question. Where are the other Avengers? Why don't they just show up and Spider-Man or somebody just show up and go like, wait a minute, okay, maybe not Spider, maybe no, like Hawkeye or something. Yeah, I guess they couldn't really. Well, Captain Marvel's around. Oh yeah. I haven't done that. And how are they gonna do Black Panther 2? My guess is somehow they'll have to say that T'Challa died and that Sister replaced him. Sorry, replaced him. They're gonna have to do that, but not in this episode. It'll be confusing because they'll have to kind of explain it in the movie verse. Yeah, these other verses, these shows are going to be connected to any of the movies that are coming out when theaters reopening. Some theaters have reopened, but I don't think they're putting any Marvel's movies out until at least November, just to make sure. Black Widow and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a little further off. Love and Thunder is a little further off. Thor movie. It was odd that like 3 months ago they were showing footage from Love and Thunder, even though they have not shot any of it. At that point, there was nothing from it. They somehow, some of these very clever CGI guys got a hold of like test footage and stuff, and Natalie Portman or whatever, and made it look like they had already shot a trailer, and it's a fan trailer. It's not them. That's just a really, really well done fan trailer. They haven't even released a teaser trailer just yet. I think the only teaser of that is, yeah, it's just like a shot of what appears to be Natalie Portman in a helmet. That's it. So yeah, they haven't shot anything yet. So some of the dates that are on the page are off. February 2022 or May. 2022, but not next month. 2020. So they don't even have a teaser out yet. Now they film a Marvel movie. They get like the green screens like I have in here, but the bigger, like really big green screens, and then they have minimal sets, and they set up like their whole thing. They set up like whatever battle scene they're going to film or whatever, and they set up a really elaborate set, and then they have all the CGI guys do make everything look cool because it looks cooler to film on a bridge or a space thing or whatever. In a soundstage, it's easier to control all the lighting than it is to go outside and film outside. I wonder if these TV shows are doing some outside stuff, and that's why it looks a little odd, because it doesn't quite match. But yeah, but a lot of it is probably in that green screen room thing. The full motion capture around thing, kind of like what they used on The Mandalorian. Star Trek before that, and so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you don't really need any of that last stuff on here.